For years, we've been told VR is isolating, antisocial, even dead. But standing here, watching groups of people laugh, compete, and play together, that story starts to feel very incomplete. Maybe the future of VR isn't solo, maybe it's social.
I'm falling off!
And so that drug is virtual reality, and it's going to have an impact in ways you can't even begin to imagine.
I won!
So good.
Hey, I am in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and I'm gonna go check out Another World VR arcade. There's two of them here in KL, and we're gonna go see what it's all about because they're going like freaking wildfire. I can't wait to see it. There it is, I found it. Hello! Hey, I'm Bob. Nice to meet you, Arat. So you can handle how many people in here?
Right now it's 24, but potentially we can even accommodate up to 30 people playing at the same time from different groups.
One of the amazing things about VR arcades, and Another World's a great example of it, is it's really social gameplay, right? If you take your kids to an arcade, they're all running around, they're playing different games, and they're not actually playing together. And in this place, the kids are playing games and they're playing together. They're playing with each other. They're either playing against each other or they're cooperating with each other. But either way, you've got families playing together, kids playing together, parents playing with kids, and even grandparents. And in this day of social disconnection, taking your kids to a traditional arcade and having them like split up and play versus come together and play, this is so much better for them. Now, I've been here for a few hours on this Sunday afternoon, watching this big birthday party, and now another group of kids is coming in. The first one was 10, this one looks like it's at least 20. And while they were here, about 8 people walked up, and they were sold out, and they were basically said, yeah, you either have to book the whole place out, or you're gonna have to come on a weeknight. Now, I'd say the age of these kids are probably average 10 to 12 years old. They're running around like crazy, having an amazing time. Now, I just talked to the father of the birthday kid who organized this massive party. And I just talked to him, and he said that this is actually the second time he's been here. So he came here once with his family, they played, then they decided to have a big birthday party. And so there's real repeat playability into this. But, you know, how much repeat playability is in a playground? Kids go to playgrounds all the time. They don't have to change out the slides. They don't have to change out the swings. They just want to play together. And this is like the modern playground for kids. It's so amazing. The other thing that I noticed though is some of the kids are playing, they're getting some of the different groups started right now as I'm watching. And then there's 3 other groups that are playing with Nerf guns, which they have here. There's a supply of Nerf guns for kids to run around and shoot Nerf while they're waiting. And they're running around having fun, entertaining themselves, having a good time, because kids don't really need much to have fun. Now, Another World's game library clearly appeals to a bunch of different segments or quadrants. And for decades, Hollywood has built its business on what's called the Four Quadrant Model, a movie that appeals to both men and women over and under 25, hits all the boxes, and becomes a blockbuster. And if you've been following me, you know I've been talking about the Four Quadrant Model for VR arcade, where you have to appeal to different demographic groups and different psychographic groups to be successful. They hit the corporate team building group and the adult social play group, which is called competitive socialization in the LBE market. And then they also have these player versus player, highly competitive games that appeal to the active gamer group that likes to play Call of Duty. And then they play a game called Shmooter. And Shmooter is one of the best player versus player games I've played. It has a bunch of different maps, but the maps are all puzzles while you're playing a shooting game, like a virtual laser tag game. What they did for the older crowd is they created a series of games called Kernel, which take that same map game mechanic, they put photorealistic graphics on it, And now it's a much more adult-centric game, and both of those games you can put 12 people in at a time, so you can play 6 on 6, or you can play, everybody against everybody, which is fun as well. And they even have casual social games like their cooking game, which appeals to adults. And so they're hitting all these different quadrants, which allow them to fill different day parts and build a profitable business. Now, what's enabling this technology are standalone headsets. All the compute is done in the headset. So there's no big tech stack, there's no servers, and you've got an arcade, you've got all the tech you need to get 20 people entertained at once. Now, I talk a lot about operational efficiency when it comes to running VR arcades. And this place is being run right now by 3 employees. The owner was here, and it's running really smoothly. Another World removes all of the guesswork from setting up a VR arcade, and it gives operators a faster and simpler path to getting open and making money. If you were to fill an arcade like this with arcade games, it would cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And then you're stuck with those games. Those games are the same games forever.
It's losing money!
The beautiful thing about virtual reality is new games all the time, totally downloaded. So every few months, you get new content, people want to come back and play the new content. Another World is in 350 locations now around the world. Their business has been exploding in North America. I'm here in Malaysia. There's 2 locations from the same owner here in Kuala Lumpur. There's Another World arcades in Thailand. I went to one on Koh Samui, which is a small island, and it was in the mall in Koh Samui. And so these things are popping up everywhere because they don't cost a lot of money to build. They're really cost efficient. And when you think of the joy per dollar invested that you can deliver with something like this, yeah, I can't think of a better investment to make right now as a small business owner.
A world where you can find your true self, beyond the limits of the possible. Breathe deep and relax. Your journey begins in 3, 2, 1.
I'm really excited to watch what these guys have going on and watch their growth. The growth has been phenomenal. I want to thank Another World for inviting me in to kind of watch the business, spend a few hours here, watch the kids play, watch the parents watch, kind of chat with the employees and get an idea of what the state of the industry is right now for these kind of, what I'll call entry-level free roam VR arcades that are blowing up around the world. I want to thank Another World. They're doing great work and we can't wait to follow their journey.